My name is Joe Astrup. I'm the Dean of the College of Liberal Arts, and I'm very proud of the research that you're going to see in this video.
In kids, the smaller the ear, the more it naturally amplifies certain pitches and certain sounds. And so when we fit kids with hearing aids, we have to take into consideration the acoustics of the ear canal. In most kids, we can measure that. We stick a very tiny microphone all the way down the ear canal to the eardrum and measure the acoustics of each individual child's ear canal. Every child's not going to let you do that. And so right now there's currently age-based norms. And with an outreach project here at the university, we travel to Guatemala each year and fit hearing aids on kids down there. And so we found that Guatemalans naturally are just much smaller than American kids, and then a lot of them have malnutrition, and so they have severely stunted growth. And we found that those age-based norms just really didn't hold with what we were measuring down there, and so that's what kind of kicked off my research project. We just completed phase 1, where we looked at American kids. We tested over 350 American kids and looked to see if head circumference was a better metric for predicting ear canal acoustics. And the metric did hold, and so based on our results, we're getting ready to publish an article about using head circumference to predict ear canal acoustics if you can't measure them individually. And they're also redoing the age-based norms because we had more participants in our study than in the original study. So a lot is going to be changing for fitting kids with hearing aids in the future.
I'm working on a collaborative interdisciplinary pilot project with Dr. Jeffrey Katz, an outstanding cognitive neuroscientist in the Department of Psychology. So our study aims to investigate if participating in a full semester introductory drawing class based on observational drawing affects changes in the brain, and if so, in what ways. And learning to draw develops perceptual awareness, including visual acuity, eye-hand coordination, and ability to envision, among other cognitive skills. So using fMRI technology, we're scanning the brains of voluntary students enrolled in an introductory drawing class before instruction and again after instruction has concluded. And these data will be compared to determine if learning how to draw affects changes in brain structure and function. This study is ongoing, and it's provided results that show potential for future research opportunities. We're grateful to have received internal funding for this pilot project because this has enabled us to apply for an external grant.
CPS, Canine Performance Sciences, has a very long history of detection in canines. They're a world leader in this. One of the issues that comes up with all detector dogs is getting them to graduate the programs. So it's very expensive and time consuming, and not every dog becomes the awesome detector dog. So one of the questions that we've been interested in trying to answer are what are the factors that would be predictive of which dogs go on to be successful detector dogs. We're looking for biobehavioral markers, and what this involves is a number of different behavioral tasks that we measure in the dogs, and also doing brain imaging in the dogs. The purpose of all this research, putting it all together, is to discover biobehavioral markers, right? So what factors in the brain will predict dog success better? What behavioral factors will predict dog success? So how well they do in the different tasks that we test them outside the scanner. And altogether, what we hope to do is develop a kind of endophenotype that we can look and say when we're looking at dogs, these other dogs don't show the behavioral profile, don't show the brain data that's predictive of being a successful dog. So we can kind of early on weed out the good ones from the ones that may not be successful.
I would like to talk a little bit about Mosaic Theatre Company, which is housed in the College of Liberal Arts. It is funded by the Dean's Office and the Department of Theater. And the mission of this company is to create original, devised work that explores issues of diversity, inclusion, and social justice. Now, the company is comprised of Auburn students who get to define those terms as they are meaningful within their lives. And the company members create new work every year. The company comes together in the summer for an intensive where we study the issues, we bring in research, the students decide which issues they want to create work about, and then we go through a variety of different devising technique processes that I facilitate for them in how they come to actually have pieces of theater that they take out into the community, into the university throughout the year and perform. Our mission is not just to perform these pieces as a way of disseminating information, it's actually to elicit dialogue. That is the fundamental piece of what we want, is to build communication in the communities that we're working in. We want to have difficult conversations, and we want the work that they create to be the catalyst for those difficult conversations. If the students can stand up and say the hard things, then we hope that the audience can become participants with us and create a civic dialogue in the room about the issues.
The course Music and Science represents the first big approach that the College of Liberal Arts has made into integrating STEM education with the humanities, which is music. There were 3 specific external sub-awards that supported the development of this course and the continuation of both incorporating research and incorporating service learning or civic engagement for the undergraduate curriculum, which is pretty unique.
I broke up the students into groups so they can learn through team-based learning, and they designed their own research projects which encompass both music and science. They designed their experiment, they ran their primary research over 8 weeks, and concluded the semester in a poster presentation.
One of the benefits to the service learning component is that the students also get to make a short video about their experience, where they are teaching the rest of the class what they learned from going out into the community and conducting civic engagement projects.
Some of the topics that the students researched were, for instance, does musical genre affect athletic performance? Or another one was, if we change the music in a movie scene, does it affect the emotional status and also the physiological status of the person watching the video? So these were really neat topics that the students came up with. The fact that the undergraduates are doing active research and designing their own research project has been a seed of excitement and a push towards CLA being able to offer the undergraduate research certificate in the close future.
Manuscript fiction in the archive 1750 to 1900 collects material from what we call the age of print, when we traditionally and historically have thought of manuscripts as going away because print technology is so much easier and cheaper to disseminate work. But instead, some people are still choosing to keep their work close, and so it never saw beyond a small circle. It's been largely undiscovered or under-examined in the archive. And what my team and I do is go to archives, collect it, photograph it, describe it for an online database, as well as create transcriptions that will make them available as ebooks and as digital resources in combination with all of the other kinds of resources we have from the same period.
As you can see, our faculty members in the College of Liberal Arts do a great job in the areas of research and creative activities. We promise to continue to move forward in a very aggressive manner to contribute to the university's mission. War Eagle.